Daniel speaking. Thank you so much for being here and for being awesome by being subscribed to my channel. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. If you have any ideas for me, please leave them in the comments below. Now today I'm going to discuss self-respect. Self-respect is one of the most, if not the most important things we can do. And often it's based on our self-esteem and sense of self-worth. Now, to have self-respect is not to be mistaken to be selfish or self-centered. You can have self-respect and still have respect for others around you. What is self-respect? Self-respect to me is respecting one's self-worth and sticking to our values. Often in this world, it can be very overwhelming, and our self-respect can be affected by those around us. We can have people who diminish our self-respect, who try to tell us that we're not worth it, to make us feel unloved and unworthy of respect. And this can really damage our self-esteem. Now, self-esteem, is believing in oneself. That is the basic definition. And when we believe in ourselves, we can have self-worth, which leads to self-respect. Self-respect is one of the most unappreciated things. Many people might consider it selfish to have self-respect for oneself. But I don't think that's the case. For how can we love other people if we have a low sense of self-worth and self-respect? If we don't have respect for ourselves and we don't have a feeling of self-worth, how then can we respect other people and love other people and understand where they're coming from? Self-respect isn't a selfish thing. Self-respect is about valuing who we are without judgment, without that critical negative self-talk. Oftentimes it's our subconscious selves, our critical selves, that we listen to, right? It's those words of, I am not good enough. I am not worth it. I am not loved. And it's important to replace that with, I am worth it. I am enough. I am loved. So many times we get caught in judgment of ourselves or by others' perceptions of who we have to be. And we lose sight of who we are when we try to not necessarily please everybody, but when we try to fit in so much that we lose sight of our own values and goals. And it's important to realize that self-respect, is all about valuing our goals and who we are and who we wish to be. It isn't doing so in a narcissistic way, making it all about ourselves. It is doing so in a healthy manner. Self-affirmations, statements, and journaling about how we feel towards ourselves and treating ourselves like a friend. Oftentimes we get caught up in judgment, and this judgment can lead us to lashing out, to being frustrated, to hurting others' sense of self-respect and self-worth. Oftentimes, we turn into bullies and hurt other people without intending to because we are so caught up in self-judgment and self-disrespect that we can't see the whole picture and we treat others poorly because we are so caught up in judgment. Now, it is okay to feel unworthy at times. I'm not saying it's not, but don't get caught in judgment of that. Don't label yourself as unworthy or as a failure, because when we do so, we start to believe it. And if we believe we are unworthy and without respect, then it becomes a cycle of self-destruction. Our mindset is everything. And when we talk about self-respect, it's important to realize that yes, we are important. We are loved. And we are here for a reason. What that reason is, nobody else can tell us but ourselves. You know, so many times we get caught up in, I have to be better than everyone else. I have to be the very best that there is. Life is a competition. I have to keep score of how well I'm doing. And in that case, it isn't a matter of self-respect at that point. It's a matter of arrogance. You know, projecting this tough gal, tough guy exterior. I have to be the best. I am the best. That's when it becomes selfish and ineffective to our current relationships with ourselves and with others. Life isn't a game. Life is not a competition. And we need to respect that fact. We are all here and we're supposed to be working towards a common goal of treating each other kindly, being gentle, understanding, and supportive in our approach, and not judging others and not competing against others. You know, self-respect can often be a hard thing to come by. You know, so many times we sit in judgment of ourselves and become so low and disheartened that we forget our goals and our values. We need to validate days where we are encouraging ourselves, but we also need to recognize when those discouraging thoughts come and to turn them from discouraging thoughts to encouraging thoughts and values. So my recommendation, my friends, is to find someone to confide in, whether it's, you know, an actual person or a pet, or, you know, even if it's, you know, someone you come up with in your mind to be your life coach, to be that source of encouragement. You know, imagine it like this. Your self-respect is your life coach. It is a coach and your biggest supporter, which is you telling yourself subconsciously, I am enough. I am worth it. I am loved. And when others can't fulfill that role, it is up to us to tell ourselves that we are worth fighting for. We are worth it. And we are not alone. Don't be caught in judgment, my friends. Don't let the negative outweigh the positive values of who you want to be and who you wish to be and who you are truly down deep in your heart. And don't be afraid, to be vulnerable, to be open with how you're feeling. So many times we're told just keep it in, just shut everyone out, deal with things on our own. And I'm telling you right now, that does not work in the long term. When we're left with negative thoughts and desires, we tend to act upon those impulses and we hurt others around us. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. And it's always important to take responsibility for how we treat other people. Just because we're dealing with a mental illness or we're not feeling particularly good a certain day, we always have the choice to not only treat ourselves with self-respect, but to treat others with respect and kindness. We have that choice. We always have that choice. I will be honest here, completely honest with you, my viewers. I am not the best person to be around. I have been negative, hurtful, have caused tremendous suffering towards people I care about. I have been self-centered, and I have been very cold-hearted towards people who are only trying to help me. And that comes from my sense of low self-respect and low self-esteem and low self-worth. So many times I sit in judgment of myself, thinking that I have to be the very best. I have to be perfect. And if I can't be, then I will do whatever it takes to either, unfortunately, get my way or take advantage of others. And that is wrong. Even I'm still working on my self-respect, my self-worth, my self-esteem, so that I can in turn treat others better. Nobody is perfect, and nobody expects you to be. Anyways, this has been Darth Sidious DGW. Please leave your comments below, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Yeah.
Can I come in?
Sure.